If you're a working woman, then you've probably seen this study going around because Sheryl Sandberg of Lean In and McKinsey did their annual Women in the Workplace report. And they're talking about an ambition gap between men and women and the fact that it's widening. Women are considered less ambitious than their male counterparts. And they go on to explain how this ambition gap is not because women don't necessarily want to progress in their career or earn more money, it's because it doesn't seem worth it, right? Because a promotion would mean having to pay for more childcare. A promotion would mean traveling for work. A promotion would mean more of a commitment in the office, and it's something they're not able to do because of their commitments at home, because of all the unpaid labor they're doing, the caregiving they're doing, the childcare cost that would come with all of that. And so I find it so interesting that they use the term ambition gap, because that's not a lack of ambition. That's a lack of resources. That's a lack of support, right? That is a lack of workplaces accommodating for the reality that most women, especially mothers, exist within, right? So many men are able to show up to work because their partner is bearing the burden of the work at home. They're carrying a disproportionate amount of the mental load and the domestic labor, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, just the kids, right? Like, who's doing pickup? Who's doing drop off? Who's doing sick days and doctor's appointments? That's not an ambition gap. Women are incredibly ambitious, but they're leaving the workforce and they're passing over promotions because it's not feasible, right? And they're trying to figure out other ways to work. What's a side hustle I can do? Can I become a consultant? What can I do that actually works with being a mother? And that's not a lack of ambition, right? That is looking at the current workforce and saying they're rolling back DEI. They don't make it possible for women to be in this workforce. They're forcing return to office, which makes it impossible for me to be a parent this day and age. And so it's not that I don't want to work or I don't have ambition, it's that it's not possible. It is not possible to make it all work. And until men step up at home and also workplaces recognize these realities and actually care about them, they know this exists. They just choose to ignore it and build policies that ignore it. But until that changes, this quote unquote ambition gap will continue to widen. But at the end of the day, the terminology is wrong, which is not surprising from Lean In at this point. The terminology is wrong. It is not an ambition gap, okay? It's a resource gap, it's a time gap, it's a support gap. It has nothing to do with women's ambition.